For ACUsports.com, I'm Grant Boone here with men's basketball coach Joe Golding after the Wildcats fall in the regular season finale 74-69 to Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Coach, the two games against Corpus, the second best team in the league, in some ways, is it fair to say that it shows where this team is of yours? Unbelievable to take them down to the wire twice, but still some room to grow.
I think it's exactly right. I couldn't be I thought our guys competed tonight. I thought they played hard and they played with some passion. We didn't always play smart all the time, but that's okay when you play hard and you compete. That's how you find a way to win games against championship-type caliber teams. And Corpus has had an incredible year. I got a ton of respect for Coach Wilson and what he's built there, and what he's built there is what we're trying to build here. And you look at their team; they have 8 seniors. They got a really good junior, and they're a veteran ball club that's learned to win on the road, and they win at home, and they have a calmness about them, and that's obviously we're going to get there. We're young right now. We've got some youth in our program. We got some guys sitting out, redshirt, that are going to help. We've signed some good recruits, and I think it's exactly right. You look at the whole year real quick, Grant, is non-conference in the past we've struggled and we've lost with some pretty large deficits. Now we haven't backed away from anybody. We've gone and played some teams that are really, really good. But this year we closed that gap in the non-conference. And then you look at this year and the seasons we beat some teams. We ended up 8-10, and then we closed the gap with the top echelon of the league, besides SFA. There at their place. So that's improvement for our guys. But like I told those returners in there, we're nowhere close to where we need to be. We've got a ton of work ahead this spring. We've got a ton of work this summer, and we got some work ahead next fall. And we owe it to those 4 seniors that helped us close the gap. We owe it to remember this, and we owe it to those 4 to get over the hump.
Well, it was neat to see one of your seniors, Austin Cook, just shoot lights out in his final game, made 4 3-pointers. And even though that half-court shot didn't go in from Parker Wentz, I thought it was somewhat poetic that the ball would be in his hands. He's your first 4-year player to have, and in some ways, you couldn't find a better representative for ACU basketball. You told me that before he ever came here.
There's no question. ACU ought to market him right now and see if they can just have his name for about the next 30 years. He's exactly what we look for at this university. He's a model student-athlete. He represents the Lord every day in what he does. He's a great basketball player. He's just an incredible kid that comes from an incredible family. They've been incredible loyal to us, and it hasn't been easy for him. I told him that. You go back and look at the first year when we played that gauntlet of a schedule with Tim. I mean, it hasn't been fair. His back's against the wall, but that's been Parker his whole life, and I couldn't be happier for him. I'm excited. I know 8-10. We wanted to finish this thing 9-9. It meant a lot to us, and we didn't quite get there. But I know he feels a lot better this year. Listening to him talk right there at the end to our guys, this was good for him, and this was good year for him to go out this way.
You don't have to give us word for word, but can you just share generally what he was saying?
He just, basically said, "Go get it, man. He's been in this program a long time, and this is the best year he's had, and we're right there. We're just not quite." And he challenged those guys the next time he sees them, and he wanted them to continue to improve and go win this thing, and not take for granted what those 4 have done and what those 4 have laid and what those 4 have been through, because those young guys haven't gone through what those guys have. We've won some games this year, and so he wanted to make sure they remembered of what they've been through, what they stuck through for this program, and where they want this program to go.
Your team and preseason polls, we can just look as far as Julie Goodenough to see what preseason polls mean. She was picked 9th. They win it outright 17-1. You were picked last. You finish 7th in the league, right in the middle of a 13-team league. I've got to believe at some point down the road, maybe not right this minute in the moments after the loss, but that would have gotten you into the tournament had you been eligible. That's got to mean something, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it shows improvement, and I think it means we're going in the right direction, especially with the youth that we have and the returners that we're going to have. And so we're obviously excited about that. We don't want to finish 7th, but that's where we've been, and that's improvement. And you look at it, you go back. We were talking about after the game. You think about Houston Baptist. There was a 2-point game. Nichols was a 1-point game. Corpus is 5 or 6 at their place, 4 or 5 here at our place, and then in Carter Word 4 here. Those are 5 games, and if we can improve, 5 or 6 points here and there and get better this spring and summer and add some pieces to it, that you flip-flop that, and that's 13-5. So we're close, but we're not there yet. We got a ton of work to do. We're not gonna we're gonna hit the pause. These guys deserve a break. We've been going out long since Costa Rica. They deserve it. But then we're gonna get to work, and we're gonna put our foot on the pedal. We're gonna continue to recruit student athletes to represent this university. We're gonna continue to recruit talented kids that can one day get us to where Julie was today. That's motivation for all of us, and is to continue to prove and give ourselves, by the time we get ready out of this transition, to compete for championships.
You deserve a break too, pal. You
Thanks,
and
man.
associate head coach Brett Tanner and assistant coaches Solomon Bozeman, Ron Holmes, Cooper Schmidt, director of basketball operations. It's been a tremendous year. It began in August in Costa Rica with this bunch. They finish with an 8-10 record for the second consecutive year, doubling the number of wins they won in conference. And I don't know if the corner has been completely turned, but you can see it turning right now, evidenced by another great game against the number 2 team in the league. For Joe Golding, I'm Grant Boone for ACUSports.com.